Hi, this is Colin with Maker Farm. In this video, we're going to show you how to install the optional auto bed leveling sensor on your Tevo Tarantula. You're going to need the following things. You're going to need the auto bed leveling sensor. You're going to need bag B-6-2. You're going to need a wrench and a pair of pliers. Makes the job a lot easier. In bag B-6-2, you're going to see these two long M3 bolts, as well as some M3 washers. Go ahead and put the washers on the bolts as shown in the video. Now if you get your bed leveling sensor, you'll notice there's two holes that are oval shaped. That's where these bolts will go, and it'll actually mount right on the side of the hot end here. There are some tapped holes in the heat sink of the hot end to where you can screw it in. Go ahead and install both of those bolts, and then we can adjust the height of the sensor in just a minute. Make sure the sensor is still loose so that we can move it up and down. We're going to set the height in just a minute. Best thing to do is to get a sheet of paper and then go ahead and lower your nozzle down to where you can feel some friction on the sheet of paper that's underneath the nozzle. Then you can raise up that sensor just a little tiny bit and tighten it in place. When you're all done, you're going to run this wire for the auto bed leveling sensor with your other wires. And for right now, I'm going to unplug the original Z end stop. If you already installed that, go ahead and unplug it. It is in that yellow connector. And then for the auto bed leveling sensor, if you bend it just a little bit like this, it makes it a lot easier to get in. Or you can remove that clear acrylic cover that has the fan on it to make the job even easier. Now we're going to take the printer over to our computer and plug it in using the USB cable. When you plug it in to your printer, most likely it's not going to install the driver correctly, so you will want to open up your device manager. For me, I went into my settings, and then you can see on the right hand side I have device manager. Once you open that up, and you plug in your USB cable, you're going to notice a new device appear. For mine, it has a yellow exclamation point by it. It is the FT232R USB UART. So it didn't install the driver properly. There's two ways that we can install the driver. The first way is if you double click on that device, then go to Update Driver, and click on Search Automatically for updated driver software. Let that run first. If that works and you no longer have your yellow exclamation point, that is the easiest way to do it. Most of the time that doesn't work, and you do have to do it a different way. So if it doesn't work totally, you can see it changed it to USB serial port. We're going to try the different way. There's a link down in the description of the YouTube video that has the driver to download. Go ahead, download that, and then extract the zip file. Come back in here, go to Update Driver. And then this time we're going to go to Browse, My Computer for Software. So click on Browse, and then you will find that driver in your Downloads folder if you're using Windows, and then in that folder that you extracted, which is, there you go, right there. Then go ahead, click OK, Next, and it will go through and install the driver for us. You can go ahead and click close, and you notice now there's no longer a yellow exclamation point by our driver, so that is correct. Now, assuming you already have the auto bed leveling firmware on your Tarantula printer, at this point you're going to go ahead and open up a program like Repeat Your Host, Pronterface. In my instance, I'm using Simplify 3D. I'm going to click the control button, which is that little gear on the right-hand side of the Simplify 3D software. If yours does not have the green light at the top and say disconnect, it's not connected to your printer yet, so go ahead and click connect. Then down in that bottom box, we're going to type M851. After that, go ahead and write down that value. Mine says minus 0.6, so write that down. Next, we're going to type M851Z0. And then next, we're going to type G28, which is going to tell your printer to home, and it's going to look something like this. You can see a little light coming on that green sensor. That means it's detecting that bed. Next, we're going to type G1Z0. Okay, after that, we're going to use our LCD to do this. Go ahead and get your LCD. You're going to push the button. You're going to go down to Prepare, then Move Axis. We're going to select our Z axis, and then we're going to go down to 0.1 millimeters. And if you turn your knob at this point, it's going to go and move your nozzle up and down. What we want to do at this point is get a sheet of paper, put it underneath our nozzle, and just keep turning that knob until there's a little bit of drag on that paper when we move it underneath the nozzle. So right there I've got some drag, and you'll notice I'm at 0.4. So now we can go back to our LCD. We can go to Control, Motion, Z Offset, and we're going to change that to the reading that we had on the screen when we had just a little bit of friction on that piece of paper. So I'm going to change it to, I guess, 0.39. Then go down, go back to Control, go down to Store Settings, and that has saved that into our printer now. You can also do this in your Repeat Your Host or your Pronterface or Simplify 3D by using the G-code as described in the build guide. I like to do it in the LCD, then I can adjust it a lot easier without it being connected to a computer. When you get that all set up, you're going to put a G29 after your G28 in your Start G-code, and then when it's doing the auto bed leveling, it's going to look something like this. You're going to notice it's going to go to 9 points on the bed, and it's going to touch down on each of those and detect where the bed is at. And then after that, it is going to go ahead and start printing. If there's something you'd like me to cover in the next video, please leave a comment in this video. Make sure to subscribe and check out my website, www.makerfarm.com. Thank you.